So that means that people outside will know it got quieter and they might come in, who knows. I want to welcome everybody to our 5th annual Words Save Lives. There will be people coming and going at different parts of the evening, and everybody is welcome. To me, this is always on World Suicide Prevention Day, and why is it this kind of a thing instead of a lecture? Because what makes a difference in our lives is when we connect with people, when we laugh some, when we feel valued, when people are paying attention to us, when we're having a good time, when we make new friends, all those kinds of things. And one of the things that I learned when I transitioned from being only immersed in social service to getting to try some other things was, man, arts of different kinds bring people together, and sometimes people who don't have a great space to connect with in other places, you know. It's amazing to me how many people I talk to, and I do a podcast called Talk With Me, how many people I talk to who spontaneously said, this, whatever their art was, saved my life. You know, it's like, oh my gosh, and people who will talk about being in the audience. So we are going to laugh. That is one of the requirements for this evening, whatever part you're in. If we have not let you laugh during that time, we have failed you. So I told Chop Reynolds, yes, who is a wonderful person to make us laugh, that he is going to be our superhero tonight. But I'm expecting him to have some additional heroes with him, okay? Not only Chop. So I want to say a big old thank you to Lawrence Creates Makerspace for letting us use their space, making it really comfortable, easy, helping with all the setup and everything. To Stephen Smith, who said, hey, I could do sound. Wow, that is awesome. That is a huge benefit for everybody, especially for people who've been here in past years when the sound was kind of bad. Thank you, Steve. Some people, we do want you to wander around. There are chairs, yeah, but also like there are little books of poetry behind Julia. They're rubber banded together still, but those are called Poems for All. And this wonderful person in San Diego, he's on almost number 2,000 of featuring different poets. And his idea is create these little books, have people take them, and have them be scattered like seeds. So anybody who wants to grab some for yourself, who wants to grab some extras to distribute towards the end of the night, those people, particularly who are from other communities, who say, hey, could I just take a whole bunch? I've got little bags, we can do that. Robert Hansen, Poems for All, look for that online sometime because it's pretty awesome. And he was so dear to be very generous with sending this. So I'm mostly going to probably be in back and saying hello to people and shouting out random things because I do that. I can't help myself. I'm so excited as I keep looking over here at this person, C. Loof. So C. Loof is in my life thanks to Rhonda Miller, who actually had connected with C through online poetry stuff, but I got to meet C before she did. In May of 2014, when we did our first Voice of Lawrence Poetry Slam, which was amazing, which is what got me the momentum to do, we got to do some more of that, right? So C wrote a little bio. I'm going to read it because we are going to introduce people, but I'll probably add a few things to it. So this is C's 3rd time at Words Save Lives. And he says, it's like coming home after being away for a minute. Not sure what that means, see? Okay. Many of the Lawrence poetry community are his kith and kin. C was a freelance journalist for 25 years. He switched focus in 2005 and traded that for other kinds of writing. He has books of poetry, he's in some anthologies, and he has this amazing children's book that at this point I think I bought 6 copies of to give to different people for their little ones. It's so touching. It's so beautiful. And he's now living in Omaha. He brought one of his family members who is royal, not C. Royal is being our spokesmodel, encouraging those of you who can to contribute a donation. If you can't, no pressure, but if you can, that's really helpful. So I would say that in addition to his having a large family that includes some of us here in Lawrence, I'm certain that C is setting world records for the length of crocheted objects. So welcome to the stage, C, to read to us, and then we'll welcome other people too. Thank you, C. Or we can be in front of the stage, wherever we want to be. In the middle of the room, somebody's going to be over there having us look at it. Oh,
yeah. Hi. So which is better, staples or screws?
Yes.
I've never been stapled, so that could be true. So I just wanted to thank Marcia first, because it's mostly her work and momentum and all that sort of thing that puts this together every year. So if we could clap for her and embarrass her just a little bit. Yay! And I am going to gently pressure you to skip the value meal further in the week and put that money in the jar instead. Because it goes less on our waste and less to waste if we do it that way instead. Is this hot?
That's
Okay.
hot.
All right. I wear hearing aids, so I'm not really sure. She mentioned the children's book, and she asked me to read it. And I always do what she says, so I brought it here. If you want to buy it, the printer fouled up their order, and they were supposed to be here today, but I can send you advance copies, shipping free, if you want a copy. But I have a little person in my life. She's 7 now. I wrote this a couple years ago and dedicated it to her. And I know you can't see the pictures, but she's a wee thing. And this was a lullaby that I would sing to her. And then so I just put it to print and did up some little pictures and stuff. And in the back of this book is a place where you or your child or your partner or what have you can write your own love story and keep that as a memorial to the person that is the subject or receiver of this gift of a book. I love you at the break of dawn. At the noonday sun on the twilight's run. Night or day, I love you all the way. Fancy that, I love you. I love you where the grass will grow in the rain and snow, where the wind will blow. Foul or fair, I love you everywhere. How about that? I love you. Thanks. I love you to the moon and stars, Saturn and Mars, near and far. I love you to the sun and back. Imagine that. I love you. I loved you from the very first day, come what may, all the way. No matter who you'll be or what you'll do, I'll love you forever. No. I know it's very difficult reading, but she was 3, so. Family is holy. I want one. A group consisting of parents and children living together in a household, all the descendants of a common ancestor. No. It's flexible, slippery. Latin in origin, familia, familius, servant. I always thought kith and kin had a better spin, but now I'm learning family over again. All the words may parrot each other. Kith, one's friends, acquaintances and relations, siblings, father and mother. Kin means the same. 2 letters different, but nothing more or less to gain, at least not in mine, until I met her. She leaned forward, bending into conversation, elbows resting on yellowed formica and silver trim, blue eyes, electric spark flashing back to those who were. Every word she spoke was coffee and laughter, iced tea and sadness, mirth. For all of those who went before her, I was orange juice and chocolate milk, Cheerios, and phone book on the chair. Listening to family trees like fairy tales, told into syndication, I did not understand the bearing they had. These people I never knew, could never be related to by blood. As time carved the maps in her face, I could trace tree lines in her smile. Entangled in the roots she lent me, I leaned forward, bending into conversation, elbows resting on drop leaf, polished oak. Blue eyes, electric spark flashing back to her. Every word I spoke was iced tea and laughter, green tea and sadness, mirth. She was chocolate milk and apple juice, oatmeal, and booster seat strapped to the chair. listening to my family tales like fairy tales, these people she would never know, would never be related to by blood, but she understood my connection. She traced tree lines in my smile, tangling in the roots I lent her. Lydia was born with burn scars on her hands, traveling upwards to her wrists, falling into third-degree fists when someone doubted she used to eat rattlesnake in Texas, where she died in a fire. This child refused to be called a liar, and when a trip through Waxahachie caused street naming and directions and hysterical tears in front of her finally believing family, her fists relaxed. She'd been witnessed. But the years faded, and those scars went into smoother skin, and she remembered who she had been only anecdotally. And I question if her heart deep still holds the memory, or if it has faded too, and what color her heaven was in between. Anne told me over hot dogs and macaroni the reason that she was her mother's daughter was that they had fought over property. She killed her mom and her horse, buried them in a hole. We were both boys then, she said, and now we have to be girls and try again. That was a decade ago, and she is close to womanhood now. I query if that battle still rattles in her chest or if it's been tucked away to remember later. And where did she go in between? Did she still remember the sheen of golden streets and angel wings tucked neatly behind their halos? Or is that oral tradition, truth or myth? These are the answers I needed. It was told to me through a child's laughing revelation, storied through board books and chocolate milk, unfolded like a cootie catcher on the playground. The possibilities are fun to expect, but they're not endless. Heaven is blue. Not my blue heaven blue or indigo robes guarding the pearly gates during a near-death experience, waiting while you decide to enter or not blue, just old school Crayola crayon blue. My shared 7-year-old told me this with absolute finality, as a connoisseur of Crayola crayons would be certain. And I believed this little girl who sat there 5 years prior letting me brush her hair, because none of the tone and bobbing ponytail head nod was false. It was 90 years old, been through 3 big wars and depression, absolutely certain of this fact. I said, my mother's in heaven. I said, did you see her there? A sideways dimpled cheek curled upwards glance, no, it's big. I asked her if she liked it. I asked her if she had any friends. Well, of course, hands on fist, no names. We all came down together, she said. Looking at me with more patience than my ignorance could soak up, I felt caught in the middle of just born and just before death, in that chasm of knowing everything except for what is, and jealous of being too old to remember, not yet able to read the details, knowing the only remedy was learning the secret and not being able to tell until a while had passed, until I was a child too young to be anything but filled with faith and remembering. I told her my curiosity as I tightened her hairband, baby lotioning the hands which gently framed my face. I said I envied her. I said I wanted to know what she knew too. It's okay, she said. You can wait. Heaven is blue. Thank you. Mercedes Lucero is a member of Black, Lawrence Artist Collective, the author of the chapbook In the Garden of Broken Things, published by Flutter Press in 2016. Her writing has appeared in The Pinch, Heavy Feather Review, The Curbside Splendor, among others, a Glimmer Train Short Fiction Award finalist and Pushcart Prize nominee. That's what she is. And her most recent book is Stereometry? Yeah, Stereometry, a poetic curriculum, and it's available at Raven Bookstore. And you can learn more by getting the website for me or remembering mercedeslucero.com. Mercedes?